we discussed yesterday with Coach Vujocevic at dinner. The topic that I was assigned is to talk about how we use our small center. Okay, how can you take advantage of a player who can handle the ball and is not primarily a back to the basket player, but is more a player who can dribble, pass it, create shooting opportunities for teammates. And then connected to that, Coach Dule was interested in understanding my opinions on where we're going basketball-wise, in terms of how we are developing this game. We all talk about playing small. We're all talking about playing fast. And, I might like to spend a couple of minutes to talk about that. In Europe, like in a certain way it happened in the NBA, Mike D'Antoni was the first one who decided to choose quickness over power. When he was coaching in Treviso, if you remember, he decided in some positions on the court to give up size, but he preferred to have more versatile players. Then he went back to the NBA, and if I'm not wrong, he was coaching in Phoenix, and he was the first one who decided to play at the four, basically a three-man. Sean Marion became his power forward, and they started to spread the floor a lot, play pick and roll, using the four-corner spacing that now it's becoming so big, and everybody was following that. They were shooting many more threes than everybody else. Then there was, and it's a little bit what happened here in Europe. We started probably 10 years ago, even more 15 years ago. I remember when I was in Cesca, I had Matthias Modic, that you remember very well, a powerful player who could play also far from the basket because he was a very good passer and a three-point shooter. So those kind of players or I don't know, I remember Lavrinovic from Lithuania, the two brothers or whatever. So that helped to put an emphasis on the fact to have not only the three perimeter players, but also the fourth player, one of the two big, to be a player who could open the floor. What we're going through now in years and years, as you can see, is that the court is becoming very small for our athletes. It's even more of a problem in America in the NBA, but for us, the court is a little bit smaller, okay? And our players are still becoming faster and more powerful. And, it's small court. It's a small court. And you need to do something to create more space for the players. Plus, going back to what we discussed this morning, the need to be able to make the pocket pass and the skip pass is even more a need in our game, because when the ball is there, when the ball is here, and maybe there is a pick and roll on this side of the floor, and you are on the weak side defending somebody, okay? In the NBA, at the most, you can be here. Otherwise, you risk a 3 seconds violation, okay? In Europe, as you will know, with the ball there, you can stay here, okay? Or if you're guarding here, you can stay here and bump the roller with the first line. So everything is like this, and if you don't have the ability to skip the ball to the weak side and hopefully have a shooter in that position, our court becomes smaller and smaller. So that's something we have to keep in mind. Once said that, going in this little review, so even in Europe, we started to put another shooter on the court. But back then, with the exception of probably Zeljko Obradovic with Panathinaikos, we're talking about beginning of the 2000, so 2005, 2006, 2007, with the exception of that team of Panathinaikos, nobody else was switching. So you could still create some kind of advantage and play this small ball and use maybe a pick and pop shooter who was screening and popping, and they were losing him. Then, time 5 years, everybody was switching. So now, what are we getting? We're getting just one very simple thing. that you run a ball screen with a ball handler and a pick and pop big, they switch. So now you have 5 players creating a wall around the 3-point line, and most of the times 4, if not 5 players behind the 3-point line. Okay? So everybody's thinking, yes, I have the shooters, but I don't create opportunities because they switch and they keep body on body. One body on one body. Okay? They do not need to commit 2 people on the ball and free for 1 second the shooter and create the advantage and start the drive and kick. So what I'm saying is that we needed to review the strategy of using, let's say, these small ball teams or pick and pop players, and we need to have players who are capable to understand that against the switch, either you slip and you don't give time to the defense to adjust. So can I have somebody here? Can I have 2 players with a blue shirt and 1 player with a white shirt? Come on, give me a guard here. Come on, a guard here. Okay, you guard me. A blue. Hey. So give him the ball. And you're guarding him. You're guarding him. So what I'm talking about is that as long as you come here and you set the classic screen, they switch. People switch. So you screen, you pop, and it's body on body. So you need to have, wait, stay in the middle. One of these 2 things. You either run, prepare the switch, and I slip it, and maybe I can get a shot. Or more important, you need to start rolling. You need again to start rolling. It looked like for years to screen and roll was something that only the center had to do. Now you see small pick and rolls where the small rolls inside. Or 1-4 or 2-4 pick and roll when the 4 rolls. And then eventually, if he doesn't get it, he ends up in the corner to space the floor again. But the simple screen and pop is not working anymore. And this goes to an old concept that we all have. You need to lower the line of the defense. I think, watching games, you can be surprised of how many times, even in the EuroLeague, you see actions where the ball does not cross the foul line extended. And everything is handled on the perimeter. We need badly, can I have 5, overall 5 and 5? 5 white on offense and white and 5 blue. Come on. Can I have the defense also? 5 and 5? Okay. Very good. So, let me have a big here. Let me have a big. Let me have a big here with a white shirt. Very good. And then corner, wing, slot. Very good. So, basically, we need more situations like this. Example, set a step up, attack the baseline, and then roll hard. Roll. We need more to have the ball here. So that line of the defense, come here. That line of the defense is coming down, because if you don't come down, he gets the ball. So he comes down, okay, go down, and if you help, boom. And then immediately we have another player there, boom, we swing and we attack. We need to lower the line, the first line of the defense. And you can do that either bringing the ball or rolling somebody there. Or, again, give me the ball. Here. Let's say you're, go there on the wing. Go there. Okay, slide there. No, slide there. Okay. How many times we see people coming out of a screen for me? I come out, I catch it, and for whatever reason, I can't shoot. So what we all do is either he comes or he clears and somebody comes for a pick and roll, correct? So most of the times, I will do this, and the ball is still here. So we need probably to go back more to even if this player, even if this player is not a scoring threat there, just throw him the ball, and now on a simple split, just use him with the DHO, with the uphill. No. Create movement. So I'm here. Who was the passer? Go back here. You're the wing. Let's say you're the wing. So you receive. Okay, I screen, I post, go split or cut, do whatever you want. And now here I am. Boom. And I boom, boom, and I roll. And I create more and more opportunities for the short roll. And again, everything is putting pressure on the defense to come to that level rather than stay here most of the action. We always spend time in international basketball in driving and kicking, correct? So it was a point of emphasis. Let's shoot the three after we penetrate and we kick the ball out. There is also another thing. Make sure that the defense go lower so you kick it back against the rotation, okay? And you will find something. Because again, let me do this side so it's better for you to watch. Go back there. Okay. Come here. Get into the corner. Okay. Every time the ball goes baseline, stay here. Stay there. Screaming. Every time the ball goes baseline, the rotation is coming this way, correct? So if we learn to throw the ball there, now the defense is like in rugby. You know rugby when they go down and then all of a sudden they get the ball and they go this way, or is pulling the ball and everybody has to come up. Same thing. Defenses are usually good at this level in rotating to the ball, but they're not very good in going back. Because see what they do, all the defenses. Go there. I'm a defender, okay? I'm a defender. Ready? Go. Go, roll. And now when the ball goes there, I usually look and then I move. Very few players and very few teams are instructed in moving on the fly of the ball. So, go. So I do this, ball is leaving, and I'm starting running up. Everybody goes, as I just said, like this. And then they move, and now they're done. Because now it's a closeout. And you can put them in rotation. So, this thing you can obtain it with rolling more the people. I think the roll is going to be more and more important in order to create situations where you don't move the defense only like this. Because think about this, when you drive, the defense shrinks side to side, correct? You want after a next pass that force the defense to open like this. You see? As long as the defense can do this, I think they are in decent shape. When they have to combine this and this, that's where the problem comes with the defense. Because you need to be very, very good in moving while the ball is in the air. I don't know if it's too complicated, but honestly, I don't think so. It's more conceptual than, you don't do drills for this. You just keep it in your mind. So, you can sit for a second. So, talking about the small big, I was in a certain way, when we signed in Milano Kyle Hines, which is the epitome of the short big, okay? A big who can really do many things. I remember the first year he came, we were playing a game against Real Madrid. And we had a few injuries. And more important, we had to face Tavares. So I have this center who is big like this, and you all know how great Kyle is. But Tavares is 7'1", I don't know, whatever. So we were thinking. So, and like many times things happen in a strange way. We are down, I think, 15 points. And our starting point guard gets an injury and is out. And so now I have only Sergio Rodriguez. And honestly, it doesn't look very good. So my assistant coach tells me, let's use Kyle to bring the ball up. And I looked at him and I said, what are you talking about? He said, let him bring the ball up against Tavares. Let him be a point guard. So we started in the game that, like in the Cinderella stories, we eventually won, but that's not the biggest thing. We started using Kyle in situation where we thought he could create problem to bigger players. So the very first thing we did with him was on a free throw situation, we started using a very simple action that I just want to show. Can I have 5 players with a white shirt? Okay. I'm sorry, 4. I'm the 5 man. I'm the 5 man. You can sit. So, of course, Madrid, with all their guards, they were pressing us. So we managed to inbound the ball to Kyle, and Kyle was bringing the ball up. So we immediately fill the 4 corners. Okay. And we started using what a lot of teams call a delay action in the NBA. So Kyle was coming here, and now the bigger player, can I have a big blue? A big blue. Thank you. So Kyle is not a shooter. So Tavares was there. And this happens if you have a small center all the time. They don't guard them, okay? So we start using more. Every time he was coming here and he was directing on one side, you screen, and you come get it. Boom. And now, depending, can I have one defender on him, please? One defender on him. So chase him now. Sorry, go through the first time, okay? Go under, okay? So we wanted to do this. What I had in my mind was, I want to create these 2 situations. The first one is this, okay? They go under, dribble, one dribble, re-screen, attack him, short roll here. So going back to what I said this morning, I thought, let's attack Tavares, which is amazing in his north-south defense. If you have Tavares here and Tavares start doing this, it's over because he can contest and he takes the roller. So the purpose is, let's try to use that big man where he has to go this and then this. It's very simple. It's like, the resources of the week. So get him lower. Come on, here, go, here, under, attack him there, boom, here, go for a shot. Exactly. So Tavares here has to do this and then this. Because if he does this, at least we shoot an open shot, which is fine. Here's the little tricky thing. Let's say they go over now. Now they go over. So you have a good guard here. And of course, he needs to turn the corner, correct? So here you go there. And that's where he has to be smart. If he sees that Tavares commits there, he can still have a roll here, even against a 7-footer. But, can we have 2 defenders there? Can we have 2 defenders? But he goes over, and they shift from the weak side. So Tavares doesn't move a lot, okay? Keep attacking, and now I hold. I don't roll. I hold behind, even if I'm not a shooter, and on the throwback, either. How do you pass the ball from there here? Either. With the right hand, correct? So let's do it, please. Come on, ready? Set up, go, chase him, here, boom, and now here I go. And I get him again, 2 against 1 on the other side. If I roll without thinking, I kill myself. I need to understand and see where my big is going. So again, who's coming up? Coming up here. He moves. I use my corner eye. Okay, so I gotta see. He moves laterally. Go attack, attack. He moves laterally. I go. He just protect the paint. I don't. I stay. My teammate can have a jump shot. Pursue him. Pursue. Go, go, go. Or I'm the safety. Boom, and I go. So now look at the big man here. Can we start over again? Let's say you get the ball there. Okay. Slowly. Let's go. So focus on Tavares. I'm here, here, here. I need him to move laterally. I need to move these big people laterally. Okay? So that's what we started to do with him. And let's flip the side of the offense, please. Let's do it on this side. And as we said, can I have a defender there? A defender there. Thank you for joining us. Very good. So, remember what we said this morning. Come here and do what I just did. Do what I just did, okay? Do what I did. So you go there, you actually, okay? Slowly, go, ready, go. Boom, boom. Go, give him. Okay, chase him, chase him, chase him. Attack him. Give him the ball, give him the ball. Okay, attack. Okay, stop. We said this morning, people here will shift. We have two players in vision. One is here, and the other is here. So that's where we started to do this. As soon as you see him coming out, you get to the block, and you screen your man. Go. Go. No, no, no. No, no, no. No, no, no. Come off the end off. Slowly. As soon as you see, slowly, as soon as stop, you see that he's chasing him. Okay? He's chasing. He's on his ass. You just start doing this. Corner. Boom. Now, if he goes, you should. If he stays to help, stay to help there. Do it again. Do it again. If you help there, just kick it to the corner. And you shoot a three. I prefer this than the back door. A lot of colleagues like better this. A lot of colleagues do it. As soon as I come out and they see, stay, Jesus Christ, stay. I'll tell you, a lot of coaches like when there is this, stay high to help. Okay, see ball and man, wait, hands out, good. They like you to go back door, okay? Cut, and then they want this. I respect that, but I think we create better spacing going away from the ball rather than having another cut coming inside the paint. So I'd rather teach this. I get it. No, sorry. I get it. And as soon as you see this, immediately, go, boom. Okay? So this player has to decide. Either I go with my man and I open up the middle, or I still help like coach told me to do, but I lose my man there. It's clear? Now, you also see sometimes that do the same thing. You also see sometimes the defense, he's too ready to stand, and the guy just goes back door and make a layup. That's it. Sometimes you will get this when the two defenders are here trying to overhelp. Okay? So you're there. I held my man. Go make a step. Make one step. One step. That's exactly right. Okay. Okay. By the way, because we're not American football, that you have the defense and then you have the offense, okay? Or vice versa. And this is interesting because for whatever reason, I have this reputation to be a defensive coach because we like to give labels to the team, to the coaches and the players and whatever. And people think that we spend a lot of time teaching defense. We are exactly the opposite. if you come to watch practice, and practices in Milano, like in Moscow, like in Madrid, are always open, of course, to a certain number of people. But we focus much more on offense against a competitive defense in practice. Okay? So because of the fact that defense and offense go together, just one little things, because you see, and this drives me crazy. Stay there. Stop. Talking about shift, helping from the weak side. Beginning of the year, all the new players tell me, Coach, if I help, I give up a shot. If I don't help, we give up a drive and you're mad. And I need to explain them that the way we do things is different. When we shift as close as possible on the line of the pass. Because if you shift with this triangle, yes, for sure you will stop the ball, but you will stop the ball after it went deep. You stop the ball here. So there is no way you get back there. Does it make sense? So when you shift from the weak side, there is nothing against shifting. As long as if there is a line, if there is a line that goes from the ball to your player, you need to you flat the angle and you come higher and you put one end here. And of course you need to be smart that if he goes back, hold. If he goes back door, you start doing this, okay? But it's here, because now if he attacks you, attack me. You shift like this, I mean, it's not a pass. One time you will give up a shot, I'm sure, but not many times. Not many times. And big part of the defense is to take away the vision of a space to attack. Watch this. I learned this. Thank you to Rasho Nesterovic. You all remember Rasho, correct? So, have the ball there. 20 years ago, this is Carlton Myers, the great athlete, the scorer from Italy. And we were getting crazy because we were defending him, and we got to a point that we said to our players, regardless where he is, you stay with your nose on his right shoulder, because if he dribbles right, it's over. So no more middle or baseline. There is no more right with that specific player. And that's where I saw Rasho. Can you defend him? Good. Rasho was never on a weak side behind his teammate. He was always below. So now that player, Myers, was having a body on his right and a body on his left. Does it make sense what I'm saying? Get a little bit close. Stay there. Stay there. I'm guarding him. I'm guarding you. Okay, stay here. Stay here. Okay? So if I stay too high, now I'm right behind my teammate. You all can see that. And he sees the space to attack. It's a very small thing. When you are helping on the weak side, do not stay behind the ass of your teammate. Never one player behind the other, because that will take away the opportunity to discourage the vision of a space to attack. Make it look crowded. It's not so complicated. You don't need to make this clinic to your players. You just tell your players, when you're on the weak side, don't stay behind your teammate. Either stay lower, most likely, or higher. You don't need to, all this is here for fun to explain the thought process like we said at the beginning. You don't need to go to a player and tell him, look, because if you consider this and that and the diagonal, fuck that. He will think you're crazy. Just tell him, do me a favor, you're on the weak side, you see your teammate ass and you stay below that. Automatically, the man with the ball will see two bodies and will have no chance to attack. Or he will at least hesitate. And especially for big kid, if you're lucky to have a big kid who can block a shot, that's a great thing. Because he will discourage penetration rather than need to do something against the penetration that happened. Discourage penetration. It's like the fake denial. Teach your players how many times you can get something fake in a denial. You don't need to do this like in school. Just, you're a good athlete. You're a good athlete. Show you like a little snake, you're ready to do this. This will discourage passes. You know, you start learning how to be a concern for your opponent. You know, not only a good student or a good pupil that does exactly what coach tells him to do. You know, small things can help us. So going back to this, when you shift more on the line of the pass. And I tell them, I'd rather give up a backdoor, but always have high shift, rather than be passive shift and give up a lot of shots. I don't know if you like it. That's what we do, I think, decently. But you have to tell them. You have to tell them. I would rather give up a backdoor. If you give up a backdoor, it's my fault. Don't worry. Because, of course, you cannot tell him. You shift at a point on the line of the pass, then he gives up a backdoor. You say, yeah, yeah, yeah. No. I yell a lot. I try to be selective when I yell. It's a joke. You can smile. Okay. So, going in that direction, slowly we started to do things. We added little tweak on this. Give me the ball. I'm Kyle Hines. I have the ball. 4 men is there. 3 men, you're there. Okay. No, I'm sorry. You go there. You go there. You go there. You got him me. Thank you. Stay on the wing. Yes. Yes. You're small. You got him. So, my players starting to like it, to see this DHO situation. And then, one day, they start doing this. Kyle was coming. You're there. You're there. Challenge me. Don't you be back. Just scream me. Scream me. Scream me. Boom. And pop for a 3. You understand what I mean? Okay? So we started to do 5-1 pick and roll. In the middle. So you fake to go there. You fake to go there. And then you come and get me. Good. Boom. And if I get the bad switch, meaning that on the switch, do it again, slowly. On the switch, the guard switch with with this angle. A little bit lower. That's it. Switch with the open stance. I just attack his outside shoulder. I mean, these players are strong and big. So you attack him. They commit 2 guys on the ball. If they commit me here because they're afraid, boom, 3. Just a quick hitter. I don't like it. Woo! Come on. Boom, boom. And now most likely you got the switch. The effectiveness of this is that you don't run it 10 times, 3-4 times. So the very first time they give up a shot, so you shoot it. The second time, they might switch. And now if they switch, here you have another switch. And now you can post Kyle, you can post your small, big against a small. And once you get it, you have him, the big guy, on a shooter, on the point guard. And instinctively, when the ball comes in, he will come help, because if he does not, I finish. Boom. And you shoot again. So the funny part of this is that you try to take away from their comfort zone this big kid, okay? And all of us, we like when we draw something in a timeout and it works. We feel good. We feel like we invented something special. But going back to this is just fundamentals and very basic action. And everything is related to how you use your fundamentals in order to achieve what you want to achieve. Okay? It's not that you solve the problem with a complex strategy. You try to set them up with a good use of the fundamentals. Now, people started to, let's say, somehow, you saw three things where we can use the small big. It's funny to use the word small big. One is in the uphill DHO, where he goes high and then he short roll going to the baseline. And of course, I'm very lucky because Kyle is a great passer out of the short roll. I know that. So this is unfortunately taken for granted. Then we saw the possibility of him handling into an elbow action where you have either the rescreen or the attack of the guard, the throwback, and the deep pick and roll. Okay? Then we saw the big, small pick and roll. So you have quite some things that you can use. A last thing that we can use is, again, putting his man in a tough situation. So we have, and this of course has to be a call, otherwise it doesn't work. So you have your shooter at the elbow, and you have, let's say, whoever player is there. And if the big is there, bravo. You just throw him here, you fake to cut, and then you use the screen, boom, and go shoot. On the end of, not there, you'll probably get it there. Okay? Basically, you know that the big, because he's there, he cannot switch. Okay? So you use him on a quick shot. Okay? Or if he's higher, because he's afraid a little bit, now you will back screen for me. You understand what I mean? You back pick. So you go there, bravo. And on the pass, I cut, and you might slip. You understand what I mean? So once the ball goes there, you are here, and you can fake the screen and just go there. Okay? Because you don't know if they switch or not. Okay? So I'm here, he's on me. Get it. Boom. That's it. Bravo. So we try to use these little things. But the funny part, and who has watched our games has seen that, is to use this short big in a short clock situation, full court. Like, for example, they're shooting a free throw, 6 seconds left. And everybody expects the small bringing the ball, somebody set the pick and roll, and blah, blah, blah. No, we just cross the wing, we run away, we give the ball to Kyle, and Kyle goes full speed, either to attack the rim, or if people shrink, he kicks for a three. So it's, and I think in that regard, let's say closing the discussion about where we are going, this is my point. More than reward or choose quickness versus size, it's more choosing skills versus whatever size they have. You know, you might have a player who is not that big, but he has the skills. And when I say skills, I think especially the passing. You know, the understanding. I'm a little bit, you know, I always thought that the pass is the most important fundamental. Because when you know how to pass, when to pass, who to pass to the ball, it means that you really understand the game. And after that, shooting percentage will come, everything will come. So if you have skills in that regard of a player who can do multiple things, now I give up the size or the quickness or whatever it is. It's not just small versus big, three-point shot versus less three-point shot. I think it's going a little bit deeper than that, our game, and it will. That's the direction that I feel is going, and I think it's also an exciting direction. Um, Before we finish, I just want to thank the players because they were patient with me and with all of us. Thank you so much. Um, Now we have few minutes for your questions, if you have questions, and then I will close it. Please tell me. Tell me if you have the questions. I cannot believe. Come on, we're in Serbia, in the land of basketball. Tell me, coach, I didn't like anything of what you said. Can you please say something more interesting or whatever? Please give a sense to my life. Nothing? Okay. Now, uh, before closing, I want to say one thing. Uh, and I just want to share a memory that I always have in mind for my career. We talked before about how you use the fundamentals and how you use the techniques and how you teach the techniques. Okay, so one of the strongest lessons that I received was back, I think, in 98 or 97. We had a huge clinic like this one in Italy, and one of the person that was invited to speak was a former player, a national team player of France, former national team of coach, former president of FIBA in Europe, Monsieur Busnel. Okay, Busnel was a great player in the 50s, and then he became a coach, became a great executive for FIBA. Overall, a basketball mind. So he came down, he talked about whatever he wanted to talk, but the things that really hit me was something that for me as a young coach, back then I was, what was that? 48, 40, 39 I was. He said to this great group of young coaches, he said, remember that the techniques, the tactics is for a day, and the techniques is for life. And he explained, he said, as much as you want to use strategy to screw your opponent, at one point you will find somebody that will have another strategy that will work against you and will force your player who cannot use his right hand to go left, or the player who cannot shoot, they will back off, or they will double team the player that is not capable to pass. So the only solution for you as a coach in your career is to improve the techniques, the skills, the fundamental of your player. And he said, that's the most exhausting route, but it's the only one. It's the only one. And, all these great coaches that you had here, starting with Professor Nikolic, Coach Zravica, that we are here in his gym, and of course, Coach Duda that we remember today. All these people, for sure, they use well the strategy, but you could see the level of the fundamentals of their team, the discipline. When I say discipline, I say the mental discipline, not moving like this. I'm saying the ability to push yourself on court to think, understand, and react properly. Okay, all those things you've been lucky to see for years. And going back to what I said at the beginning, I just wanted to present myself and with the thought process that I have when I try to coach my players. I didn't want to give you any, let's say, uh, fantastic things because I don't have it at all. I just hope that you can go back home from this morning and maybe have something that can help you a little bit in your daily work. I just want to thank you one more time and wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, coach. You can stay with us for a few more minutes. Dakle, plaketu zahvalnosti za učešće na ovogodišnjoj trenerskoj klinici gospodinu Ettoreu Messini dodelit će trofejni srpski trener, gospodin Duško Vojošević. Još jednim velikim aplauzom pozdravite ovogodišnjeg učesnika trenerske klinike.